Hi guys, Lexi Gray here. Welcome back to a new, hopefully a campaign. We'll see how long these guys survive. After all, I'm going to be using Cairn. I haven't used Cairn for a while. I've been on my Savage Worlds fix, but I thought I'd take a detour and try a good old rules like Cairn, with of course some appropriate house rules. But first, let's meet the team. The title of this, again, campaign or one shot, we'll see, is the Dark Trio. Basically, this will be taking place in a dark fantasy, mostly occupied by humans, but there will be the occasional zombie, skeleton, the undead, vampires, anything that's hideous to look at, flesh-eating monsters, stuff like that. But again, this world, whatever it may turn out to be, we'll do some world building as we go. Mostly humans occupants. So the three you see on the screen is Bar, Mel, and York. Now, these are the original Cairn sheets. This is Cairn first edition. I do not have the second edition in paperback. I do have the digital copy, but I prefer to have a physical copy in front of me when doing these videos, at least since my last digital video. So, not much known about these guys just yet. This will be their backstory and characteristics will be fleshed out as we play if they survive, and that depends on how much storytelling or role play I will be putting into this Dark Trio campaign. But I obviously want these characters to start as level 0 characters. Because it's solo play and Cairn is rather deadly, all hits land if I follow that aspect. Again, there is a house rule I've used for Cairn a long time ago, which all the rolling is done by the characters from their perspective, and damage rolled is by whoever hits. So attacking with melee is strength, and attacking with range is dexterity. Dexterity is used for dodging, or strength is used for tanking. So stuff like that. If I want to have the option that characters can dodge, same goes for the attack. The enemies are attacking our characters. Now, Bar, he is a blacksmith. I was debating whether to have him be a butcher, but he is a blacksmith. So these items are not from the typical procedure of rolling up your characters in Cairn. I've given him a Warhammer D10, plate armor +3, hammer, 2x rations, and tools. He has basically how I rolled up health was 2d6s +4. So he has 12 health or HP actually. That's not really referred to as health. In Cairn, if you get hurt beyond your HP, you decrease your strength beyond that, and you can also decrease dexterity and willpower based on the circumstances. So he's our big muscle of the group. He has a middle. All these stats were rolled up, and I assigned them as I saw the fit for these characters, as I picture them. This is Mel. He's a server. Um, he works at the local tavern. He's very, let's say he's very fast. He rolled up a dexterity of 15, so then I put strength 9, 12. He's on the slightly smarter side. He's has 20 gold pieces. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. Bar has 8 gold pieces. Again, this is beyond the rules. He has Mel on the center of the pictures here. Bar is obviously the left. The left center is Mel. 2x dagger, 2d6 obviously total. Leather armor +1, longbow d8, lockpicks 5x rations, rope 3x torch. So he has a health of 12 based on that roll of 2d6 +4. Strength of 9, dexterity again of 15, willpower of 12. We'll see how his character pans out. I was kind of making him out to be the spoiled noble family who from a noble family. He's very spoiled, but he's bored, and he works at the local tavern seeking adventure. Again, these are all level 0 characters. They're all like common everyday folk. This is Yark. I think he's gonna be the most interesting. So he's the grizzly bear there on the right side of the trio. He's a gravedigger. He's filthy. He's old. He has a measly strength of 6, dexterity of 8, but he has a willpower of 15. So willpower covers anything mental, also mental acuity, not just willpower per se. His health is 8. His armor is 1. He has 12 gold pieces. And his picture came out really dark compared to the other two. He has a shovel D6, hence he's a gravedigger. He has a mace D8. He has Gamberson armor +1, 3x rations, bucket, and a crowbar. You can never leave your grave without a bucket. So those are our 3 characters in these little 5x8 note cards. We got our D20, and again, I don't play, at least recently, D20 games that often, so I'm going to have to get used to it. I'm not going to be doing my house rule where I roll 3d6 instead. I'm going to be using the D20 plus the damage die in coordinates with the weapons. So another challenge for this entry will be everything is coming from my mind. That's the process here. That's what I'm going to be doing in this episode. Um, I do have I have that Oracle dice I used before, like once, but I still prefer to use the good old D100 percentile and D10 dice for asking questions. There will be a lot of questions. I will be trying my best to not fill the entire void of questions, like what color is his shoe? Obviously I'll decide on things myself, but if I do need to resort to a more specific Oracle, if I can't think of anything on the top of my head, which happens quite often, I'm going to be using this good old trusty one-page mythic off on the sidelines here for now. Okay, so let's begin. The Dark Trio. These guys, these 3, obviously have to know each other somehow. So we will begin as expected in a tavern. So location, and this will be not a journaling, but I will be using this note taking. I will be taking notes quite often. And once we hit a dungeon or a location worth for combat, I've got my grid paper ready to go. This is not a hex crawler. I've done hex crawlers before. At times it works out, at times it doesn't. I steer away from it lately, but we'll be using our note taking procedure here. So location, tavern. We'll just call it tavern for now. And let's ask the Oracle, is Bar and Mel and good old Yark, are they sitting together like, I believe I have a thumbnail where they're kind of sitting together for this video. I'm still deciding if I'll use that or not. But let's ask the Oracle, are they sitting together at the moment? 75% chance just because of the picture. They are. Okay, so the trio, which I will refer to quite often, they are sitting at the table and they're drinking a beer. They're drinking a good amount of alcohol, and I'm gonna say even the kid, the one in the middle, I don't think it used to his name, Mel. He is easily able to drink. He's over 21. Obviously, that didn't apply back then in the past Middle Ages or Renaissance years, whichever we want to reference. But comparative to modern day, he's drinking. They're all but he actually works for the tavern, so that might not actually work out narratively speaking. So let's say at first the trio are sitting, but Bar and Yark are drinking. So because I want to have Mel approach with the drinks. So he's serving them. Let's make this to where not all of them are sitting down. So I'll put a little star here next to trio. Mel is serving them, and then he knows these two. He knows Bar and Yark are regulars. They come here quite often after a long day's of work. Yark works in the local graveyard. Bar works as a local merchant. He's a blacksmith. I was about to say bellhop, but he works at his local shop. So Bar owns a shop. Yark works at the local graveyard, and they're reminiscing about their day, talking about Bar's probably saying that business has been slow lately. Yark is drinking himself away for the fact that he digs up old graves and he buries dead people, etc. He just wants to not talk about it. And Mel walks up. Now, the question here I want to ask the Oracle: Does Mel is the standout here? He is the kind of the oddball. He's not exactly fit for these three to be considered friends at first. So, how well does Mel know these two? Let's just roll from a 1 through 100. He knows them. Okay, that's actually a. If I were to reverse it, 30, lower is better. But for this case, it's a scale. So he knows them. He is acquainted with them. He sees them from time to time. Maybe Mel doesn't work here often, just on the weekends, perhaps. So this could be a weekend per se. And Mel is serving them, and he walks up, gives them the drinks they ordered, ignores them. The bar and Yar continue talking. Mel goes back to the head barkeep, his boss. Let's throw in a character here. So the owner, or let's just say head barkeep, maybe the big shot, the manager of the joint, the tavern per se, tavern plus, let's do the usual cliche in the head barkeep. This will be an NPC we'll be introducing here. So let's call him Mr. Simon. Mr. Simon with an E at the end there. E is silent. So Mr. Simon is serving some patrons. Mel walks up and puts his tray onto the table, looks to Mr. Simon. Simon's, I'm thinking Simon. And Simon points to another group of drinkers, patrons in the corner, and says to go serve them. So Mel goes to serving these other patrons. Now, Bar and Yark are, again, I'd say they're probably just miserable with their lives. They're just not bored per se, but feel like they have no real, they're not making any progress in their life, no purpose. So Bar is probably in his modern day age of comparison, maybe he's in his 40s or 50s, and Yark is easily maybe in his 60s, just judging by the picture that good old GPT spit out. Um, Mel is obviously in his 20s, just borderline 25 perhaps. So Barr is a big dude. He's pretty huge. Um, and he has the physique to be like a knight or a fighter of sorts. Yark is frail, old, thin, but he is incredibly intelligent, and he's a gravedigger. So I thought that'd be a good mix of irony. Barr actually brings us up. He tells Yark that, you dig up graves, you bury dead bodies, but your mind is so clear. Why don't you go work at the library or the history, whatever, museum, etc.? He retorts against Barr. He says, "Well, you're a big guy. Why don't you go work for the yard or something?" So they both laugh in comparison. These two guys, I'd say they're friends. They've known each other for a long time. Maybe they're you know what? The picture does kind of show some similarities in looks. I mean, that's just GPT being GPT, but I'm thinking that they might actually know each other or be related. Let's figure this out. Let's have the Oracle here. Just because of the pictures, not just me, not just the chances of it that I want it to be. I want them to be related. Like maybe Yark is the uncle. 75% chance that they're related somehow. Nope, they're not. Okay. Would have been interesting if they were. Should I listen to the Oracle or not? That might have some conflicting paradigms in any possible adventure coming up, but I want to say they're just old friends. They know each other. So maybe we can explore that later when tensions get high, life or death scenario, and they're yelling out, fighting for their lives, etc. Remember, these are level 0 characters. They're not like level 5 plus. They're not superhuman. So I'm thinking that they just know each other. They've known each other for 20, 30 years, and they've been coming to the same tavern and in for practically every weekend. So while uh, Mel, I'm gonna keep forgetting his name. Um, while he's walking around serving other customers, there is a sudden burst throughout the front door. And I'm thinking that this will be a certain exaggerated situation. Let's roll the dice here on the one-page mythic. I'm have an idea, but I want to see what the one-page mythic has to say about this. So what exactly happens here? Action. Remember, the door burst open. Start. Descriptor 9. Clean. Clean what? 94. Strange. Okay, clean strange. So that doesn't exactly help. Start. I'll go with start. Okay. So um a old man comes bursting through the front door, yelling at the top of his lungs. He is covered in water. He's wet. It's raining outside. Let's just say that. So let me put this here. Star moment. Old man enters tavern, yelling. He is just shouting. He says, my boy's been kidnapped. Please, anyone help me." And he like falls onto the floor on his knees. He's begging. He says, "Please, anybody here, help me." And he's looking around, and it's just we can ask the oracle, is there anybody here who's like worthy or even bothering to help? I'm gonna say 15% chance. Nope. My God, that's a 99. That's pretty good. I like that. That makes it even funnier. Dark humor for the win. I'll lower my microphone so I'm not bleeding, blowing your guys' ears out. There we go. So everyone is completely ignoring him. 99%. That's beautiful. I love it. 99%. And the old man's looking around. He's like, "Well, hello." He stands up. Maybe he's almost as old as Yark. Uh, he he runs up to the Mr. Simon, and he says, "Please, sir, is there anybody that can help me?" And Mr. Simon is just kind of cleaning his, the usual cliche, clean the drink. He looks up at the old man and says, "Mister," or he says, "You can go tell the guard." And then the old man is like, he says, like, "There's nobody around. There's no guard." So we need details on the location. We know this is a tavern, and we know it's going to be obviously in a settlement of sorts. So let's figure out the population of this area. That will be another 100 roll. 45. So small, let's say a large town. So large town. I have a name already, Belwick. That's easy. Belwick. Okay, perfect. So it's nighttime. Oh, let's keep track of time. That's something I want to get better at. So where should I put that? Let's say it's late. Just PM, just very late. It's almost like 9, 10 p.m. in modern time comparison. Belwick. Okay. So tavern in Belwick. We don't have a name for the tavern just yet. He's yelling. Nobody is paying attention, which is I thought hilarious. Nobody listening, ignoring pretty much at that point, and walks up to Mr. Simon. He says, "Go tell the guard." The old man says, "There's no time. I can't find any guard. This is the first place I found. I need help, please." And for some reason, remember, Mel is a bored uh, son of a rich family. He works just because he wants to do something with his life. Tavern, it's something. It's not the most rewarding, but perhaps maybe does get some gold tips. Or I should say silver tips, silver pieces. So Mel actually puts the tray down near his table. He walks up to the old man begging for help. And Mel, let's focus on him for a second. He says, "I'll help you." He kind of corrects his posture. He stands up straight and he says, "I'll help you. I'll find your son." He says it all trying to be all confident, trying to break the norm. And a lot of the people around him laugh. Even Mr. Simon laughs. But the old man who came in begging for help actually his eyes start to um, get a read on this kid. And he's like, "You'll help me?" Like he's kind of concerned. Like this is a young 20 something, uh, like kind of thin, not exactly, not exactly a profile for an adventurer. While Mel is trying to convince the old man he's willing to help, Mel looks around. He says, "Well, not just me. He's looking around, and then Mel is scanning the tavern. He's looking around for. Remember, Mel is actually wealthy. He has 20 gold and probably even more than that. And that's a great connection. I think that will be the anchor for convincing both Bar and Yark to assist this old man who is begging for help. So I will put down here Mel offers to help. And he looks for because obviously Mel's appearance doesn't exactly scream hero, so looks for others to join. He looking around, and there is probably, let's say, 12, 15 people in the bar. They're tavern. They're kind of scattered around. Other merchants and everyday, blue collar workers are kind of scattered about the tavern. And then he sees He sees Bar and Yark sitting there, recalling from earlier that he served them. He sees Bar as this big dude, and then he's Yark is this very mysterious, uh, deadly looking, filthy. Again, I call him the grizzly bear, but he's very short and frail, but looks very like his mind is clean as a whistle. So Mel points to those two. He points to the most appealing out of the entire. I think Mel just ignores everybody else because everyone else doesn't exactly show um, shows any promise. But he looks to Mel and Yark. He points to them. So Mel points to, let's say, Bar and Yark. He says, "My two friends over there are going to join me. We will help find your son." So Mel's trying to become a leader here. He's trying to really break out of it, trying to step out of his bubble of his issues maybe of self-confidence. So the old man looks to Bar and Yark, and he sees this big dude and then this old frail fellow old man, and he says he doesn't really say much. He's waiting for Bar and Yark to respond. Obviously, I'm in control of these two, but do they respond? I'm curious. Let's see. Here the blue will be Bar, red will be Yark. The scale from 1 to 6, how do they respond? Okay, in the middle. Bar is actually more slightly. He looks over. So Bar kind of turns his head to Mel. Yark kind of like his eyes. Yark's eyes kind of turn to Mel also, but not his head. So based on that 3 roll, Bar kind of turns his head, slowly holding his Yale, and Yark just kind of moves his eyes to them. Mel tells the old man, "Wait right here. I'll go talk with I'll go talk with my team, with my partners." So he walks up briskly to. He kind of straightens out his shirt. He walks up to Bar and Yark. He says, "Listen." He whispers. He says, "Listen, I, I'll pay you both 10 gold if you help me with this. What do you say?" Bar, this will okay. I'm basically rolling against myself here. I could just say yes, they join, but for 10 gold, let's look at their currency. Right now, Yark has 12, so he's not doesn't have that much. 20 gold currently in Mel's pocket. Mel also says this will be. Oh, I have an idea. Let's roll for advantage. Bar has 8 gold, so slightly less. Remember, he's rich, so we're going to use that fact. Oh, let's add that to his notes. He's son of a noble household. There we go. Just to add some context. Like I said, we're kind of drawing these characters out as we play. So I will do 2d20s and choose the lowest roll. I'm rolling against myself here. Basically, Mel's trying to convince both Bar and Yark of this proposition to join him. So it's a little off camera, but that's basically what's happening. We have to roll 12 or less on the will roll. He's trying to convince both Bar and Yark to join him. He says, "I come from a noble house. I will pay you handsomely, more than 10 gold, I promise. Will you please help me? I need this." So Bar and Yark look at each other, confused, but now we're going to roll for it. Lowest roll, solid 1. Holy crap. Okay, that is perfect. Bar stands up. He puts his hand on Mel's shoulder. He's like, We'll help you, old man. Maybe okay. So I think knowing this, Bar is greedy. Let's put it in this secondary box. He is greedy. He loves gold. He's gold member. Yark, because this was a perfect roll. Yark smiles. He cleans off his face, like he kind of cleans off his shirt. He stands up and he says, "What he said." Like he points to the big guy. They walk up, or the old man comes up. He's like begging, like, thank you both. Who are you three?" And they look at each other, kind of trying to decide on a name. Um, they look at each other back and forth. Mel just thinks of a name on the spot. He says he looks to Yark, and Yark kind of has a very dark appearance. His dark brown clothes, his dirty face, and digging graves. And there's three of them, so he says, "We are the Dark Trio." And some people kind of snicker and laugh in the corner of if we're looking at it from a movie perspective in the background, you can kind of hear a giggle and a laugh. He looks to the person laughing, and they clear their throat, like, sorry. And the barkeep, Mr. Simons, like says, he's like, "What are you doing? You're on the clock." He's like, "You're working." And um, Mel puts he maybe has a towel over. He throws a towel down, and Mr. Simon, I formally submit my resignation. He quits on the spot. He says, "Me and my friends." He looks to Bar, doesn't know his name. Bar goes, "Bar," and then Yark kind of whispers, "I'm Yark." So, and then he says, "We are the Dark Trio, Bar and Yark. We are here to help you." And then obviously we'll have to introduce the quest giver for this one. So the quest giver, grantor for this one is going to be an NPC. This will be a new character just for this moment here. Let's say he is the old man. Um, I'm thinking of J. Name with a J. Let's say Jarl. Jarl. He's like, "I'm Jarl. My son. His name is," and then let's see. The quest is to save. Very very common quest. Something easy. Save his son. Maybe it's a child or something. His son's name is let's say Timothy. I don't know. Something simple. Timothy. He was kidnapped by. He was playing near the cave and he disappeared. He heard demonic voice coming from this cave and he ran to town to seek help. So let's see, Timothy is ran, or let's say was playing and got taken into the cave. Unknown creatures of sorts. So that's the quest. And so when the old man says demonic voices, Jarl says demonic voices, Bar kind of leans over to Mel, who's in the front, and says, "You better pay us well, kid." And then Mel kind of like he's sweating. He's like, "Okay, this is gonna go well, I swear." And they ask the old man, "Where is this cave at?" He says, "It's just east of town. It's in the Sherwood Forest," or something like that. So let's say the location of this cave is in the dark wood forest, something very cliche as sorts. Darkwood Forest, and they are going to be going through the cave. So they leave the tavern. All right, so we left the tavern. A little star here. Left tavern. My handwriting is atrocious, by the way, at this angle. And Mel is taking lead because he's become the self-proclaimed leader. Bar is the muscle, and Yark. I keep saying Jarl. Yark is rather quiet at the moment, but he is the smart one. So they're walking, and I'm going to do a saving. So they're walking through the forest. It's nighttime. It's late. There's no time to waste. They have their items of choice. They have their carrying. They have their equipment with them. And I'm doing a passive roll for each character to see if something happens. Okay, so first, while they're walking, we'll do a roll for bar as they're in the forest in the moment. They left the tavern, they walked out of town, they went east per the directions of the old man who says, I'll meet you back at the tavern. Please hurry. So roll a d20 for bar. Willpower, 5. He is successful. Next is, I'll put success on the top here of the paper. And then for Mel, 12 or less, 13's a fail, unfortunately, so he'll be at the bottom. And then Yark, who has 15, 12, successful. Okay, so both Bar and Yark discover the following, and that will be one-page mythic, occasionally. We'll roll for it. 15, communicate, 74, perfect. Okay, they hear footsteps from the side of where they're positioned in the moment, and out comes a pack of wolves. We'll keep this simple. So we're in combat. While they're walking through the forest here, how do the wolves respond? Oh, cautious. Okay, they're cautious. So not necessarily combat just yet. So while they're walking, trio walking, traversing the forest, they encounter Star wolves, a pack of wolves. Let's say there is going to be, how many are there? Let's roll. There's 78. That's a good amount. Let's say there's 3 of them. Four wolves. Okay, 4 wolves. But they're cautious based on that earlier roll. They're circling. I obviously spelled that wrong. They're circling our team, but they're cautious. Cautious. Circling the trio. Mel is like, oh no, what have we gotten ourselves into? Bar says, perfect. This is just absolutely perfect. We're gonna get ourselves killed out here. Yark says, him being the clever one, let me see if he. Okay, we'll do this. What he's going to do is take one of his rations. It's maybe some meat or something, and he's going to take it and try to coerce the whatever the word is. Um, Throw the meat in the other direction to get rid of the wolves, just to steer them away. Let's see if this works. So he has the meat with him. Roll a d15. Oh my god. It's not okay. That's utter failure. So that was his action, try to throw the meat, and that did not work. So I'm gonna note that down. Yark tries. It's clever. It was smart to do something. Tries to distract with food rations, but it was a utter failure. So failed roll, which was a critical fail, which means the wolves are going to attack. So they now we're in combat, thanks to Yark, that bastage. All right, combat. So we have 3 wolves. Let's get their specs in here. What would their bite be? We have Wolf 1. That's usually how I do combat. Wolf 2 and Wolf 3. Oh, I'm sorry, there's 4 wolves. 4. Wolf 4. Their HP will be, let's say, compared to our characters, let's do 4 each. Or, let me check the Cairn book here if there is a bestiary. I don't recall if there is or not. Bestiary. I don't think there is actually. I know on the website there's definitely a bestiary. Oh, you know what? I'll just go on the website. I'll pause the video now and go on the website, and I'll be right back, guys. Okay, so Wolf is on the Cairn website. Is very helpful, and if you guys are wondering, there is a section called resources when you search CairnRPG.com. No sponsor, obviously. They have 6 HP, 12 strength, 14 dexterity, and 8 willpower. Their attack is a bite D8. So just for fairness, let's get the D8 that represents their character or the enemy at this current moment. There's a D8, and I lowered their HP to 4 because there's 4 of them, so 4, 4. But the D8, I'll probably keep the same. So, shoot, this might not go well for our team. Okay, well, let's decide if I'll be rolling perspective of the characters or all attacks land. That's the basically 2 possible options here. I'm going to be these two approaches for combat I'll be using for Cairn. Let's go about it with the ability score rolls. So first is Bar. He's going to attack first. Typically, the player characters go first. If they are surprised, you roll for dexterity, but I'm going to say the player characters go first. So he's rolling. He's attacking with his Warhammer as the first wolf comes by, and that's a fail. Can he block? Let's see. He can tank it as the wolf attacks him because he failed to roll. With his strength 2, yes, he can. Okay, so moving on. Let's see if this works out. If not, I might change it up. Next is Mel. He's going to attack with his longbow, which is, let's see, D15. That is a success. So his longbow is going to be the D8, which I'll be right here. That's 4 damage, so they have no armor. All right, so that kills one wolf, one down. Next is, oh, that's right, we have to roll for they're attacking him. It's a joint effort, co-sponsored roll. So he's looking to dodge. As the wolf attacks him, he's successful. Next is Yark. He is not the most threatening. He'll try to use his mace, but again, his strength is 6. It won't go well. 10, fail. So he's trying to dodge the dexterity. Oh my gosh, he just made it on the dot. So 8. All right, back to Cairn. Sorry, back to Bar. 8. That's a hit with his Warhammer. D10. So let's get the D10 out. This will be over here somewhere off camera. D10 damage. 4. Nice. Another wolf is killed. And then next is his dexterity, or he wants to tank. A wolf is attacking him. Let me get the red die for that. Okay, so wolf attacks him. 6. That's a clear block. He likes to tank it. Next is back to Mel. He's going to once again use his longbow, which is 15, 20. Oh, shoot. Okay, so this is a free attack from the wolf surprise from behind and will attack him. Okay, this might not go well. So let's roll for the wolf's D8 damage. Shoot. 1. Okay, he got lucky. He just got kind of a scratch. So he's down to down to 11. All right, so that's the first damage taken from our team. That's the free attack. Now it's the actual attack for dexterity dodging. 5. Okay, he's successful. So next is Yark. He's going to attack with once again his mace. 13 as I fail. Dodge. Oh, sorry. Red here. 2. Dodge. Okay, good. Back to Bar. He's going to roll for damage, attacking with his Warhammer. 3. That's a hit. His Warhammer is a D10. 5 damage. Okay, so that takes on another wolf. Okay. Now, they attack him. 11. That's, oh, he's dodging. Well, okay, so there is no parry rule, dodge rule, block rule. That's just made up. All attacks hit. This in strength would be a block. So he tanks it. But, man, I want to, let's split this up. We did most of the combat in my poorly assembled house rules of just rolling for stats. Now let's just say all attacks hit. Let's see what happens. I'm sure I'm going to regret this. Okay, so D8 attacking the wolf is going to attack Bar. 3. He has 3 armor, so that's blocked. Next is Mel. Mel fires a longbow at the nearest wolf. This will be a D8. 3. That's going to reduce the wolf to 1. And the wolf's going to attack him with a D8. 6. He has 5 armor, so he's down to 6. I'm sorry, that's 6. That's 5 decrease. So he's at 6 now. Minus 1 armor, which I did consider. Okay, good. So he's halfway in health. Okay, it's deadly, like I said. I might have to lower the amount next time. Next is Yark. He's going to attack with his mace, which is also D8. Okay, 7. Nice. Okay, so they're equipped. That takes out the last wolf. and they've been uh, taken care of. Okay, so Mel is already hurt, which makes sense. He is the most fragile of the team. Well, so is Yark, I guess. But Bark is definitely a good fighter for now. But that's the combat. So we'll experimental. We'll see how that goes the next time. So they kill those wolves and they continue on. And then they approach. Well, let's roll to see if they can find this cave. That will be Yark. He is our he's the brains of the outfit. Rolling d20. You know, he knows these areas. He's a grave digger. He's probably been out here a lot. So let's do advantage. Does he find the cave? He does. 9. Both is a success. So he finds the cave. They find the caves. So let's see. Find caves. All right. And as I look at it, there's a dark, gloomy, atmospheric sound coming out of it that's just very disturbing, eerie sound. And they are staring right at the cave. And, whoop, I wrote that wrong. Found cave. And they hear a scream coming out of it. They hear a scream. There we go. And that's where I'm going to end this episode 1 of the Dark Trio. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And let me know what you thought of the combat. I know it was informal, but that's why I wanted to try both methods. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.